I'll read. This is for issue 476. And in the artist's defense, this cover is the worst bit of art in the whole thing. This artist is called MCYI Man. Geordie DJ MCYI Man. He was an artist who was everywhere in 1993 and 1994, and then nowhere after. He was a newbie who could draw some okay art and seemed to be able to do it fast, so he got promoted above his level of expertise far too quickly. The rather sad fact is, I encourage you all to go online and look at his art now. The commissions he only does commissions now because he was a mostly unremarkable, sometimes bad 90s artist. The stuff he does now is really good, and it is a bit depressing to see a guy who had the ability and the talent well and truly fall victim to the bad parts of the 90s. If he had just been off in a corner somewhere working on, I don't know, War Machine or Black Wolf, he could have become the good artist that he is now. Instead, they stretched him too thin, and everyone saw him be quite a bad artist. Also not helping him earn any favours is the redesign of Thor. I will play devil's advocate here and say that there really isn't anything wrong with this costume in concept. What am I saying? He is showing too much skin. What is he? A female comic book character? I think this look can maybe work with a few tweaks. My main contention isn't the armour itself, but the helmet. I think the helmet, the trim of the helmet, and how it lines his face, it's really ugly. It's like a bad guy's helmet design. And if the artwork wasn't enough of an uphill battle, we also have Roger Thomas writing. You see, what 1994 really needed was Roger Thomas writing a Thor book once again. This run follows the truly awful Blood and Thunder run, and Marvel just didn't know what to do with Thor once Tom Falcon left the series. Tom Falcon at least kept the book chugging along, but everything after him is very confused and all over the place. Roger Thomas, we will come back to him writing the book later, but he also introduces a bunch of terribly boring supporting characters. These sorts of characters are the bane of my existence. He does at least give some of them actual traits of a personality, but they are all very, very bad. Awful designs, awful names, and they are incredibly redundant in a series that has spawned 3 different teams of characters with very similar names or setups before this, who also all went nowhere. I'm talking the Young Gods, I'm talking Earth Force, and I am talking the New Immortals, who actually share the exact same backstory as these gimps here. Now, Roger Thomas, as a Thor writer, there is summit to appreciate, and that is that he is well versed in the Norse mythology. Not just the comic mythology, but the actual stuff. So he has this run, and his one strength as a Thor writer is decreased with the direction that Thor has abandoned fairyland and is disassociating with his father and his race. We also have some really bad stuff, really bad twists with his identity and Donnie Wallblake. But I think I missed the chance to talk about that because the top end of the comic dealt with that and I was busy with setup. I think there's one more page I might be able to quickly gan over it. But instead, we are up to the good stuff now. I like this splash page. No ifs or buts. I think it is a good image. Our bad guy for this is the Destroyer droid, one of my favourite Thor baddies. Much like Nimrod, I like this big, unbeatable tank bad guy. We also have Kate Blanchett. She's alright too. Decent character. I like her. And she is going to send Destroyer droid after Thor. And to make sure that it is a good scene, we have Amanda the Enchanter's slutty sister, Laura the Enchanter. This isn't a very long run on Thor. I am thinking I maybe have the whole thing because I have also got the story after this where Laura bewitches Thing to fight Thor. Oh yeah, we have got ample time here to talk about Donnie Wallblake. Fuck you, my notes. I wrote down to skip these pages. Donnie Wallblake is revealed to be a separate entity to Thor, and the real Donnie has been trapped and replaced with a copy since the Silver Age. So now there is this Donnie Wallblake who has been MIA since the 60s, and he doesn't know anything about Thor, and he has no idea that all this time has passed, and stuff like the world and his girlfriend Natalie Portman have all moved on. Terrible stuff. Donnie Wallblake is one of those things that was right to get rid of. I think this revelation just complicates things and makes Anthony Hopkins look like a bigger piece of shit than he usually is. We finally get to the fight. Destroyer droid. He attacks Thor, and it is always a good fight. The Destroyer droid, despite its name, can it be destroyed? It is as much as invincible. Its only real weakness is whoever is in the pilot seat, whoever is controlling it or guiding it. Thor, he gets wrecked here, and he loses his helmet halfway into the fight, so that improves his design as well. But our end point is that Destroyer droid has totally defeated Thor. He thinks that he has killed him, which would be pretty wild if that was the case. If Thor suddenly died after being beaten down randomly in an issue. It is to be continued naturally, and Thor is fine. I would say that I am in favour of comics with Destroyer Droid beating up bad 90s designs for Thor. Oh, big question of the day, which I famously ask in every video ever. Which 90s abomination is the least worst? This Thor costume or the training bra one he wears after this? The Mike Diddy Dardo jerk design. I would say the latter because he usually didn't bother actually wearing it inside the comics and just walked around shirtless. Anyway, this comic is flawed. It is deeply flawed. But I get a kick out of Destroyer Droid, Stomping Thor. 7 thumbs up.